What's up, world? It's your boy Josiah coming at you live with Cooked on a Feeling. Okay, we're not live. What up, world? It's your boy Josiah with Cooked on a Feeling. And if you're looking to live a gluten, sugar, dairy-free life, like myself, without giving up delicious foods, then this is a channel for you. So you think you might be intolerant to gluten, but you're not really sure what to do, what gluten is, and what it's in. So I've written a list of the most common gluten products, and I'm going to give you some substitutes for them so that you don't have to give them up entirely, but you can replace them with something that's not going to destroy your body. So when I first decided to go gluten-free, I really had pretty much no idea what gluten was, what it was in, where to find it, what to avoid. So today I'm going to be talking about the most common gluten products and then how to substitute them out. Number one on their list and the most common gluten product is going to be bread. Yes, bread is gluten. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. So the good news is you don't have to give up bread entirely. You just have to substitute it for something that's not going to kill you. The even better news is we live in a world where there's all kinds of delicious substitutions that actually taste almost the exact same. Prices for gluten-free products are going down and they're way more mainstream, so you can find them in pretty much whatever grocery store you want. Walmart, Aldi, Whole Foods. There are so many gluten-free bread products on the market today that I'm not going to take the time to list my favorites, although I might make a separate video kind of going through which gluten-free breads are my favorite. Now, the one caveat? What is caveat? Is that right? I think I said that right. One caveat is that I am sugar-free as well. So I personally don't find a lot of products that are gluten-free and sugar-free at the same time. But if you're only gluten-free, you're going to find a plethora of options. If you are looking to eat out and you really want some pizza, I highly recommend Blaze Pizza. They are super awesome at having gluten-free options, dairy-free options. You can really have your cake and eat it too there. Well, not really, but you can have your pizza cake and eat that too. You can have your pie and eat it too. We're going to go with that. Up next on our gluten no-nos are going to be baked goods. So I'm hitting you with bad news. I'll also hit you with some good news. The good news is there's all kinds of substitutes, as you know by now, that you can use to make your own goods. My top 4 flour substitutes being almond flour, coconut flour, cassava flour, rice flour, also tapioca flour. I will say coconut flour is probably the most difficult to use because it does dry out your baked goods a lot. But if you mix coconut flour with almond flour or with another flour, a lot of times it won't dry it out and you can just use a blend of those two. Substituting these flours is pretty easy. They're all 1-to-1 ratio except coconut flour, which is going to be a 4th cup or a 3rd cup ratio to every cup of flour. So sounds like coconut flour is a complicated problem child. I would avoid them unless that's your only option. I will say almond flour is typically the best substitute. I personally struggle with almonds, surprise. But if you can do almond, I'd say stick with almond. It's 1-to-1, it's easy, and it tastes delicious. I will be making many more videos about how to make the perfect chocolate chip cookies that are gluten, sugar, dairy free, about how to make cakes and all kinds of pastries that use these flour substitutes. So if you haven't already, take a moment to boop that subscribe button and throw me a thumb. It means a lot, and I'm hopeful to deliver a lot of really delicious and exciting new recipes your way.
Wow!
Up next on things we hate to see go, but probably should stop eating, pasta. Cool, so pasta is one of the most easy substitutes there are. Go into basically any grocery store in the United States and you're gonna find pasta that says gluten-free pasta. Sometimes I have trouble with gluten-free pasta, but I have trouble with pretty much everything, so don't use me as your poster child for what's okay with that. The way to tell if you can or can't eat something is to cut it out entirely for a couple weeks and then reintroduce it and see how it affects your body. So while you're cutting out gluten entirely, go ahead and try one of these gluten substitutions, these gluten-free pastas, eat it up, and then if you see yourself having some kind of weird reaction, like say your stomach kind of hurts, you're getting gassy or bloaty, I've actually already made a video about all the signs that you may be gluten intolerant. So if you're not sure what those symptoms may be when you eat those food, go ahead and check out this video right here. It'll tell you exactly what symptoms to look for that might be telling you that you're gluten-free. Up next on the list of things that are going to break your heart to stop eating: cereal. Cereal was a hard one to let go of. However, during my time on this diet over the last 3 years, I've found a few substitutions, not too many, but the one that is gluten, sugar, dairy-free is Catalina Crunch. You can check it out right here. You can get it at most of your local grocery stores. Walmart sells it for the cheapest price, probably about $7 a bag, which is pretty expensive. The bag looks small, but does fill you up pretty quick. So I will say this is a pretty great substitute if you're looking for a gluten, sugar, dairy-free cereal. This isn't a cereal, but another thing I found that I do enjoy is called cream of rice. If you do like your kind of creamy, oatmeal-y type cereal in the morning, then you can get a cream of rice found at Walmart for like $2, and it is really delicious. Also, they do have gluten-free oatmeal, so if you can handle oats, you can go ahead and do gluten-free oatmeal as well. All right, number 5 is going to be crackers. What'd you call me? It's all right, I'm allowed to say it. So, cool. So, crackers are another thing that traditionally have gluten in them. This one, I mean, unless you're like a cracker fanatic, I don't know. I mean, I eat crackers occasionally. This one wasn't too big of a deal to lose, but you never know. If you're a big cracker fanatic, then my heart goes out to you. If you are a cracker fanatic, I do have a couple options for you. One, I have you right here in my hand, Simple Mills crackers. I found these at Walmart for like $2.50 or $3 or whatever. They are made with almonds, so as long as you can do almonds, you'll probably really enjoy these crackers. They're tasty, delicious, and you really wouldn't be able to tell them apart from a regular cracker, unless you're a cracker fanatic. Another delicious option that I find at Aldi mostly is Simply Nature cauliflower crackers. They do make these in several different flavors. There's one that's like a cheddar cheese, which is super awesome because it's not made with gluten, dairy, or sugar. Though I will say, it does say that there is less than 1 gram of sugar added. So if you have a sugar allergy, obviously avoid this. But if you're just sugar intolerant, I do splurge on this. I know I'm crazy, but I'll eat like, less than 1 gram of sugar. Probably shouldn't be doing it, but to find something so delicious and so close to fitting, sometimes I'll splurge and get some of those. They're like $2.50 at Aldi, which is super awesome. Go get yourself a box. You're gonna love them. This one's a stinger. Hope you're ready to get rid of, drumroll, beer. This one hurts. The good news is there are a lot of alternates to beer. There's a lot of gluten-free beers. There are ciders. There are hard liquors that don't contain gluten. Those hard liquors are brandy, rum, and tequila. Those are naturally gluten-free. And then if you want to go ahead and get like a Tito's vodka, that's going to be a gluten-free vodka for you, as well as a brand called Choppin', I think that's how you pronounce it. I just looked it up, if I'm being honest, but they said that it's a gluten-free vodka. So if you're looking for options, you can go ahead and check that out. It looks like this. So I will say about beer, I've heard that the gluten is removed from most of those and it's not gluten-free. So depending on your level of sensitivity, I would do a little more research on that topic and make sure that you can try it. Or if you're feeling wild and crazy, just go ahead and try some and just see how you react to it. The other caveat, we're back with the caveat. I'm gonna run with it. The other caveat is that a lot of these ciders are going to have sugar in them. There are some that are sugar-free. Life's not all gravy and rainbows. Not anymore. Because number 7 on our list is going to be gravy. Gravy might not be tough for everybody, but it is tough for me because I like slathering my food in gravy. The cool thing is making your own gravy isn't that hard. I can tell you in about 10 minutes. No, I can tell you about 4 seconds how to do that. Okay, time, go. All you gotta do is get some juice from the meat that you're cooking and then add a thickener. Cool. The thickener is gonna be cornstarch, super cheap, safe, easy. Get it at Walmart for a couple bucks. Take the juice broth from whatever meat you're making, throw it in, stir it up, add a little bit at a time. Google this if you need more information, but it's pretty straightforward. Then you can have your own gravy. And if you're buying a packet of gravy or whatever, it's gonna have dairy, it's gonna have sugar, it's gonna have gluten. So just make your own gravy. It's pretty simple. And if you don't know how, you can probably find some substitutes online. Number 8 is soup. This one kind of surprised me because I just didn't expect soup to have gluten in it. But pretty much all soups on the shelf are going to have gluten in it. But if you look for products like these, those are going to be gluten-free, obviously based on the label, and you can eat those safely knowing that they're not going to rummage and pillage your innards. Also, I can recommend making your own soup. Eventually, I'll make a video on how to do that. It's pretty straightforward. But for now, just know that there is gluten in soups. Most of the soups, look for gluten-free or avoid soup altogether. All right, the very last thing I'm going to mention is soy sauce because this one threw me off. I'm a big fan of sushi, as I hope you are because it's delicious. I was dipping my sushi in soy sauce. That's kind of a hard thing to say. So I was dipping my sushi... So I was dipping my sushi in soy sauce. Nailed it. I knew sushi was safe because, I mean, everything in it's pretty good. Although they do add sugar to the rice sometimes, so be careful of that when you're buying it at the grocery store. But I think fresh sushi is usually pretty good. Yeah, I was having issues and I couldn't figure out why. It's the soy sauce. If you go to your Walmart or pretty much most local grocery stores are gonna have a gluten-free soy sauce. As you can see right here, it's pretty cheap, readily available. So it's just another little thing that you would never suspect, but it has gluten in it. Those are my 9 most common gluten things to look out for. I wish you luck as you're contemplating cutting gluten out of your life. You're taking the right steps to living a healthier, happier, more fulfilled life. I truly can't say this enough. Nothing feels as good as a healthy life. When you're eating these foods that are doing you dirty, really most of my day is spent in misery. I'm gassy and I'm sassy, and as I like to say, don't eat gluten or you'll be tootin'. If you're not really sure what gluten might be doing to your body and to your brain and to your attitude and to your mental state, check out my video right here to tell you exactly what might be going on. It really is worth it to take note, to try cutting gluten, to see how amazing you feel, and then try some of these substitutions. You'll be surprised at how delicious they can be, how easy it can be, and how much better you're gonna feel. Thanks for watching this episode. Again, my name's Josiah with Cooked on a Feeling. We're happy to have you. Again, if you haven't already, throw me a thumb, boot that subscribe. I really, really appreciate your support, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao for now.